We're here in the beautiful Amsterdam Rockstart Hackathon Bitcoin Cash, and we meet interesting people. Could you please introduce yourself?
Yes, thank you so much for having me. Gabriel Cardona, creator of Bitbox SDK and senior Bitcoin Cash engineer at Bitcoin.com.
Wow.
Yes.
Bitbox, what does it do for the wider public?
Sure. So Bitbox is a fully featured SDK for creating Bitcoin Cash applications. It does everything you can imagine from crypto and addresses, mnemonics, HD pairs, HD nodes, EC pairs, all of the standard transaction types, pay to pub key hash, pay to multi-sig, pay to script hash, null data output. We have all the custom new opcodes so you can write your own scripts, and we are tightly integrated with rest.bitcoin.com, which is the Bitcoin Cash JSON RPC over HTTP. And then on top of that, we have a wormhole SDK and an SLP SDK for creating tokens. So our goal with developer.bitcoin.com and Bitbox is if you are creating Bitcoin Cash applications, our software is somewhere in your workflow.
All right.
Yeah.
And actually, we need more attractive dApps, isn't it? I mean, we all use the apps, but we need more. What's your view on that? I mean,
sure. So I think I'm a big fan of dApps. I know it's a sort of a buzzword, but I get it because I know that the web initially started out as a way to share documents between engineers at CERN in Switzerland, and it evolved into an application platform. And when that happened, the W3C and the ECMA standards body created web APIs for developers to articulate themselves in the way to create applications. And so now the web is evolving to yet another level where we're going to have basically dynamic smart contracts and paywalls and streaming media, and all of this stuff is empowered by things like Bitcoin Cash and our token platforms. So that's really what I mean when I talk about dApps. I mean the next level of the web, which is alive and breathing and powered by commerce, blockchain commerce.
and what does, I mean, if we look at the future, what does the normal people actually can expect? I mean, we have all apps on our smartphone. Do we see actually if it's decentralized or not? I mean,
yeah, so I think the decentralized nature of it probably matters less than anything. It matters to some people because some people have certain use cases, but I think more than anything it'll be about user experience. So I think there are some really great emerging projects like Money Button from Ryan. The Genome team recently released a wallet for doing micro transactions. Cashport by the Handcash team, Badger Wallet, which is something I'm associated with, which is a MetaMask fork with Bitbox. So I think the next big play is just integrating your wallet in a way that you can carry it around with your identity. So whenever you go to a website, if you swipe the Money Button and it pings from your Money Button wallet, or if you're signed in with your Badger Wallet. But I think that's the next big play, is how can we tie our identity to our money or our tokens, so as we cruise the web, everything is automatically just enabled behind the scenes for us seamlessly.
and if you look at the agenda of Bitcoin Cash, it's focused on disrupting the money system. Can I ask, or what's your view on that? I mean,
yeah, so Bitcoin is famously a peer-to-peer electronic cash system. That's the title of the white paper. And so as I was explaining earlier, the exciting thing about Bitcoin Cash is that we're playing out that model. So BTC decided not to scale in that direction. Bitcoin Cash is simply playing that out. So we have very large blocks, and we are optimized for making cash for the whole planet. So on our roadmap, we have 1 terabyte blocks. That's a terabyte every 10 minutes. That will enable 10 billion people to do 50 on-chain transactions every day. That should be enough for worldwide commerce and the Internet of Things. Of course, there are technological breakthroughs which we need to get to 1 terabyte every 10 minutes, but we'll have them. Things like graphene and pre-consensus and breakthroughs on hardware with Moore's Law and Kurzweil's Law. I'm confident that we will get to terabyte blocks in our lifetime.
all right. And I mean, it's disrupting the money system. I mean, where does it end actually? Are we going to pay with crypto? I mean, actually, the CEO of Visa actually said, yeah, I don't see any how do you say, danger in crypto. Actually, we want to support it.
Sure.
That's a step.
Yeah, absolutely. So yes, we will pay for everything in crypto. That's the goal. Pardon me. So imagine this scenario. Before the web, if you had told somebody in the 90s, like one day everybody will have a supercomputer in their pocket, everybody will have their own blog or Twitter, they would push back. They would say, well, number one, I don't believe everybody will have a supercomputer. Number two, I don't believe there will be high-speed, ubiquitous bandwidth. Number three, why would you need your own blog? We have the New York Times or we have ABC. But now we know that the web democratized information, and giving everybody their own voice and their own supercomputer changes the dynamics of the conversation across our whole society. And Bitcoin Cash is that for money. So in the same way the web democratized information, Bitcoin Cash will democratize money. And we all know the golden rule: he who has the gold makes the rules. And Bitcoin Cash Cash is the gold. So we have a very unique opportunity to change the human condition, because money is ultimately fundamental to the human condition, and Bitcoin Cash is the best money the world has ever known.
Just a few more questions. I mean, you see actually Wall Street firms stepping into the arena. How do you look upon that? I mean, is it also gonna? Are we going to actually democratize their system? Or?
Sure. So I think the typical cliche is people are waiting for institutional money to enter the space. That's not a big deal to me, because I feel like the institutional money will almost follow the use cases. So really, I would rather target the 6 billion people around the world who are unbanked or underbanked. Okay. You know, half of the planet lives on $5 or less a day. A vast majority of the world lives on $1 or less a day. We can empower those people through something like Bitcoin Cash. And I think once we get those 6 billion on, then the Wall Street and the institutional money kind of will follow. That's my personal take on it.
Last question, what are your favorite altcoins besides Bitcoin Cash, of course?
Sure, no sweat. So I love Ethereum. I'm a huge fan of Vitalik. I think Vitalik is a great A player. If you see this, Vitalik, we welcome you in the Bitcoin Cash tribe. And honestly, Bitcoin Cash and Ethereum are probably the two I pay attention to, but some people that I think are making smart moves are Monero and Dash. So I think there's a lot we can learn from outside communities about keeping an open mind and moving very fast. And so although I'm not day-to-day involved with Monero and Dash, I do follow them from a distance, and I think they're making smart moves as well.
Thank you very much, and all the best with all the projects.
Thank you, sir. Cheers.
So it's this bitbox.
So developer.bitcoin.com. We have our Bitbox SDK and Wormhole and SLP. I'm CG Cardona on Twitter, or Gabriel@bitcoin.com. Hit me up anytime.
All right.
Awesome,
Thank you.
Man. Thank you.
All right.